All right, so Davi wants to backtrack on a phrase she's been using on the Bert Show for a while.
I've said this so much because I've heard it said to me, and I always took it as a compliment. So this specific phrase, and I think it is well-meaning, but I just maybe dissected it a little too much, and now I'm like, oh nope, we've just done a whole 180, and it's problematic. So I don't believe in this phrase anymore. I'm not going to say it anymore because it upsets me.
Okay.
So for years, when I've run into people as an adult that knew me in my childhood or knew my family, they're always like, wow, you're really well-adjusted considering, and I know you guys are like, what? Well-adjusted. But to those people, I'm really normal. They're like, oh my God, I don't know what I expected knowing you then or knowing what y'all went through, but you're so normal now. You were such a resilient kid. It's a good thing you were so resilient because you really did okay for yourself. So, and I've always been like, oh my God, that's my superpower.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest compliment I've ever received because I don't get a lot of them. So when I started getting those, I was like, oh my God, I have supreme resilience. Like I have superior tolerance. I have the ability to adapt and reform and change myself at the drop of a hat. I am a lizard that can lose its tail. I'll just grow a new one.
You're a chameleon.
It might be a little weird looking, but I'll just grow a new one.
Like an emotional chameleon,
Yes.
you mean? Like you can sort of just
adapt and change my color. Yeah, to change with like adapt to everything around me as it's going wrong. So always, like when I would see kids in places of trauma or just bad times, I'd be like, yeah, kids are so resilient though. Because I always took that as a compliment. And then I just started like thinking about it and I was like, no, they shouldn't have to be. And it's really not a compliment anymore. So I'm going to stop saying it.
Why is that? I mean, I can see that you're kind of getting emotional when you're talking about it. I feel like you had some kind of emotional epiphany about it. What?
I did. Okay, so NPR.
Oh, yeah. Stay away from the smart people.
That's what happened.
They'll get you every time.
If I stay dumb, I'm happy.
Say that.
So NPR came out with this, the ACE quiz, and it's like learn about what it does and what it means for you. The ACE quiz, it's a quiz you take that basically like gives you a number for the abuse, neglect, or other hallmarks of a rough childhood that you went through. So it's like, did you experience, and then it correlates to health problems. So that's what's crazy now, is people are finding out that things you went through in your childhood long time ago, it's in your past, let it go. Your brain can't. That's how PTSD works. It just puts it on a screen and it replays it for you for the rest of your life. And a lot of people are good to where they can get rid of it. Some people need therapy to get rid of it, but like you can experience like physical, emotional, sexual abuse. You can experience physical, emotional neglect. You can experience within your household mental illness, your mother was treated violently or somebody in the family was treated violently, substance abuse, divorce, one or more family members, incarcerated relative, one or more family members. All of these things show up to your doctor, 30 years later in the form of, depression, diabetes, obesity, heart disease, cancer, stroke, COPD, STDs. Your behavior is you miss work, drug use, alcoholism, smoking, lack of physical activity, all of...
Wait, did you say STD?
Yes.
Okay.
So like it can, you go through a lot as a kid and you never resolve it. You can act up as an adult and you can make yourself way worse. So it can range from just headaches to depression to heart disease. And they did this whole study, Harvard and Stanford. It's not, that's why I got emotional, because I was like, damn smart people.
Yeah,
it's legit.
I'm less curious about like the details of the study than I am on why it's affecting you so much. Like clearly it had such an impact on you that you're like, this hurts me so much, I'm never using it again.
Because I look at it and it's like the ACE score just represents your trauma. It doesn't represent the positive experiences in your life that helped you build resilience and protect yourself as a child. So if you had a grandparent or a teacher that believed in you, or a trusted friend you could confide in, like in an adult as a kid, then it would help you build resilience. So people see like really crappy things happen to kids and they're like, it's a good thing you're resilient. It's a good thing kids are so resilient. Like, this is fine. It almost sounds like an excuse on the back end. Like, it's okay that crap happened to you because you're resilient. It's a lot harder for adults to deal with divorce, incarceration, all of these things. But like, kids aren't born with resilience. It's built up by supportive adults in their life that are like trauma informed, and they do their best to not let that be the excuse. They want to protect and shield kids. So I'm like, I'm never going to say kids are resilient on the backside of trauma anymore. It sounds like an excuse. They're not born that way. They need active adults protecting and engaging with them. And adults always have the ability to change, like we do. We could do better. We can shield kids from these things. And sometimes older generations are like, wait, this is just the way we are. No, make every effort to restrict trauma from the wee ones.
To break the cycle.
Yes, like stop that. Don't say it's not my problem. And don't tell them when they're crying, life isn't fair. They'll figure that out on their own. Just be the supportive adult that builds the resilience. And don't say young feelings don't matter anymore. That's how I felt when I kept saying that.
The Bert Show.